Did you know Albuquerque used to be underwater?
Here's a pro tip from the locals.
And here's why that's cool.
Be sure to lock your car.
Hey, it's Skip at Sold by Skip, the Albuquerque real estate guide. And in this video, we're gonna explore 5 things that I absolutely love about our city. We're gonna explore the east side of town to the west side and then all the way down south to uncover why people from all over the world are relocating to New Mexico's largest city. Plus, stay to the end of this video where I'm gonna show you one clip from our reality show about buying and selling properties here in Albuquerque. So let's jump into it. On the east side of town, at the base of the Sandia Mountains, you're gonna find over 26 miles of interconnected trails. Here's why that's important. It's good for high elevation training if you want to go hiking or ride your mountain bike. But if you live in a bigger city like Los Angeles or New York, you'll notice that anytime you're in a public space outside trails, there's people everywhere. If you decide to go hiking, you'll be one of the only people on the trail. When you take in nature and you're the only person on the trail, it hits a little differently versus trying to avoid people when you're hiking through trails and discovering places in, bigger cities in California or on the East Coast. Now, when I was growing up, when I was playing baseball, I would always train in the foothills. So running at a steep incline really helps your speed for running bases, but also just the elevation that we're at really does a number on your lung capacity. And so that's why you'll find people from all over the world training for combat sports or cycling here in Albuquerque because of our high elevation.
Albuquerque is a very bike-friendly city, and that's characterized by miles and miles of paved biking tracks. So if you're not really a mountain biker, you're more of a road biker, shoot, this is one of those places where you can bike around the entire city and really stay in shape. I'm out of breath. This is the prickly pear cactus we always talk about. Cool thing about the prickly pear is you can pick the fruit, you clean it off and you turn it into like a jelly, or you can even pulverize it and turn it into margaritas.
The view from the top of the mountains is absolutely breathtaking. Now, the crown jewel of hiking trails in Albuquerque is known as the Luz Trail. This takes you from the base of the mountain all the way up to the top of the Sandias to the crest where you can see almost all the way north to Colorado, but then you can see the entire surrounding city and area. And here's why that's cool. You can take the Sandia Peak Tramway from the base of the mountain all the way to the top of the mountain to see that same view. But if you're ever hiking the Luz Trail, keep this in mind. You have to park one car at the base of the Sandia Peak Tramway and then one car at the base of the trailhead. Because when you go up, you're gonna go all the way across and then you gotta take the tram back down.
Here's a pro tip from the locals. Anytime you're using one of our outdoor hiking paths or outdoor parks, make sure you lock your car doors. There's signs that literally say, dude, your car's gonna get broken into. So don't leave your laptops on the front seat of the car, and always make sure to lock it and keep your wallet with you at all times.
So anytime you visit Albuquerque, I always recommend checking out the tram. Now here's a pro tip. You're gonna wanna buy your tickets in advance online because sometimes the line to get on the tram takes like 30-45 minutes. But I remember always going on field trips to the tram and up to the top of the mountain to learn about, did you know Albuquerque used to be underwater? Like the mountains and everything is underwater. So if you're ever hiking in the mountains or in the foothills, you'll find like fossilized seashells, stuff like that. It's pretty wild, especially considering we're in the high desert. So this is one of the cool parts about living in this part of town is, all the trail systems are right in your backyard. And in fact, we made a video up here somewhere about what it's like living in the northeast part of town. So be sure to check it out. Question, which social media are you most active on? Do you prefer Twitter or do you like Instagram? Either way, I'd love for you to connect with me on the platform that matters most to you. You'll get shorter clips of inside tips when living in Albuquerque. So just find us online at Sold by Skip and be sure to follow along.
Bobby, what is it you love about Albuquerque?
The Bosque Trail.
Now we're gonna drop down into the Rio Grande River Valley to explore the Bosque trails and figure out why people love this part of town, whether you're living on a horse ranch or you just like to go for a hike along the river.
Anytime people are moving to Albuquerque, I always want to emphasize that make sure your backyard has shade. One of the benefits here is our awesome weather, but if you don't have shade, it's gonna cook you. Like, we're at elevation here, so that sun really beats down directly on you. So keep in mind, we are at a high desert, so we typically don't have a lot of trees, except for one area. We're gonna go for a little walk today through the Bosque, old growth trees along the Rio Grande River. Great place for running, exercising, taking your dogs out, shooting family pictures, and generally one of the only places in town where you're gonna get these massive canopy trees to provide shade during the summer. Now, keep in mind, as the seasons turn, this entire canopy turns golden yellow. And it's one of the best, especially if you're doing family pictures, it's a great place to be. It's almost like postcard-esque. So, and you can see, like, if you're on either the east side or the west side of town, you'll just see this golden ribbon running across the Rio Grande River. And that's all these leaves changing with the seasons. Now I've got 2 little kids at home, and so this is always a great place to come during the summer because they can wander around and play around in the trees. It's always a fun place to go for walks or bike rides during the summertime. And then during the fall, this is where we'll typically take our family pictures. Shout out Ashley, setting all that up. But the backdrop is something that's truly Albuquerque. And being born and raised here, it's one of the things I'm always nostalgic for. Nature walks in the Bosque is something that you always do on field trips when you're a kid. And then even as an adult, a big appreciation for the landscape and how just in Albuquerque in general, you can find so many different landscapes with big trees down by the river and then cactus and yucca as you get closer up to the mountain. And then the west side of town is, well, it's typically just a tumbleweed farm. In most other big cities, this entire trail will be packed with people riding bikes or hiking, taking their dogs out. But you generally will have this entire trail to yourself, and it goes all the way up and down the Rio Grande River. And so there's dozens of places you can pull over, park your car, be sure to lock your car, and you can go all the way down and put your feet in the Rio Grande River, depending on what time of year it is, depending on how high the water level is. This year, I think we had some of the highest water levels that we've had in years. And there was people getting sucked into the river, and there was like all kinds of river rescues on the news, which, as unfortunate as it is, locally we're like, yeah, small price to pay to finally have some water in the Rio Grande. Now, if you're a horse lover, or if you have horses, this is a great place to ride your horses through the sandy trail and the shady canopies. Not only for the horses, because they can stay cool, then you can see the Sandia mountains peeking through the trees. It's just really everything that is Albuquerque.
And again, if you're thinking about making that move to, in, or around Albuquerque, be sure to reach out. You can always just give me a call or shoot me a text. Or in the meantime, go ahead and click the link in the description for our free relocation guide, where we give you the tips and tricks about every part of living here in Albuquerque. So now climbing up out of the Rio Grande Valley, we're gonna be on the west side of town. And you'll always hear me talk about the west side of town versus the east side of town. And there is a little bit of a rivalry there. Keep in mind, people from the east side of town will never go to the west side of town. However, people that live on the west side of town have to go to the east side, whether it's for work or, just overall entertainment. So here's why that's important. There's 5 ways to get across the river. And keep in mind, you're gonna wanna live close to one of these roadways if you have to commute for work. The most popular is Paseo del Norte, which connects the east side of the town to the west side of town. And you just gotta pray to God that there's not an accident on that highway because that'll set you back about, well, like 20 minutes. To speak to that, when I was living on the west side of town, my parents lived on the east side of the town. And it was impossible to get them to cross the river to come to a barbecue or to come to dinner. So we always had to make that trek from the west side to the east side. I don't know what it is, it's just a stigma. If you have friends that live in the east side and you live on the west side, kiss them goodbye. Now, I made a video exploring some of the real estate here on the west side of town, and if you want a better feel of what it's like to actually live on the west side, be sure to check it out.
So I always talk about how impressive the views are from the west side of town. Now, we've traveled all the way from the far northeast heights up there by the mountains, those are the Sandia Mountains, all the way over to the west side near the volcanoes. And you could get unobstructed views of the Rio Grande River Valley. And the best time of year is right during the fall when the Rio Grande River Valley turns bright gold with changing leaves. And one of the best places to get views of the entire surrounding city is going to be on the west side of town. And there's plenty of opportunity for brand new construction, whether you're doing a 5,000 square foot home on an acre, or if you want something more in the suburbs.
Growing up in Albuquerque, you get indoctrinated into the Church of Green Chili. And it's kind of a mystery to people who aren't from here, but green chili is grown in a small town south of Albuquerque called Hatch, New Mexico. And we're very tribal about our green chili here. What the heck is even green chili? Well, I'm gonna introduce you to green chili pepperoni pizza. Now, anytime I'm out showing properties or introducing Albuquerque to somebody that's not from here, at the end of the home tour, we always have to stop by Dion's Pizza. And this is a local staple for anybody that's grown up here. After Little League games, we'd always run over to Dion's Pizza to get some green chili pepperoni pizza. And here's a pro tip. If you're ever putting on Parmesan cheese or chili flakes onto your pizza, be sure to test the lids first, because little rascals like me always like to unscrew the lid so that the next guy gets a Parmesan explosion. But living in New Mexico, get ready to put green chili on everything from pizza to, actually they serve it at McDonald's. It's not just a way of life, it's our religion. Because we're such a small town, I say we're a small town, but our population doesn't quite command a major league sports team. We're very loyal to our minor league teams, such as the Albuquerque Isotopes for baseball, UNM Lobos for men's college basketball, or men's college football. Now, the cool thing about the way our city is laid out is that the basketball arena, the football stadium, and the baseball stadium are all located on the same corner intersection off of University and Cesar Chavez. So let's talk about the pit. This is the basketball arena. This is one of the best venues for college basketball in the country. Now, the way that they built the pit was, you can see the outside is about 2 stories, but then they dropped dynamite and blew this massive pit in the ground. So when you go inside, it actually goes way steep down till you get to the basketball floor. Next, the football stadium. This is a fantastic place to watch the University of New Mexico Lobos play football. So tailgating is always great here. You'll get to meet Lobo Louie and Lobo Lucy, who are our mascots. And growing up here, you're diehard University of New Mexico Lobo sports. And of course, we have minor league baseball here. We're a AAA affiliate. I think right now it's of the Rockies. And so our mascot is the Albuquerque Isotopes. And I remember as a kid, I have like a picture of me climbing on this giant baseball that's located outside the stadium. And that's the only thing basically that remains from the old stadium before they built the new one here for the Isotopes. So I always make sure to take a picture of Birdie on the baseball before each game. So if you want more information on the sports teams and the facilities we have here, we made a video about all the entertaining things there are to do here in Albuquerque. We've been working on a new project, Selling You. ABQ is a reality show that takes place here in Albuquerque. Follow along behind the scenes as we tell the story of buying and selling properties here in Albuquerque. So if you've got a story to tell and you want to be a part of the show, visit soldbyskip.com/casting. And we're happy to tell your story to the world. So enjoy this clip as we do a home inspection on an older property located in Albuquerque Uptown. I've called our friends from Duke City Home Inspections to tear this place apart. They're gonna go up on top of the roof and underneath the crawl space to see what we're working with. Yeah, no, we're just doing the home inspection right now. In fact, let me call you back.
Hey Skip. All right, man, so I'm pretty much done, but I found a few issues around the house that we're gonna have to
don't say that. Okay, what do we got?
This fitting underneath it here is cracked, so it needs to be replaced. This will require a plumber to come out here. All right, Skip, this is the biggest problem that I found so far. It's the toilet.
Yeah, what's wrong with it?
It's pink. Oh, all right. We got one little thing we got to take care of under there.
Well, anyone dressed like this is not delivering good news. What do you got?
Well, there's a support underneath the house that it just needs some adjustment.
Things are moving along nicely with the home inspections with no major issues, just the way I like it.
All right, Skip, have you seen the pool?
What do you mean? It's a swimming pool. You fill it with water and that's it?
That's way bigger than that, man. This is gonna need a serious team of professionals to come out here and fix this up.
You gotta be kidding me. It's a swimming pool. You just put water in it.
And you normally, but this one's pretty deteriorated.
Dude, I have an open house in 2 days. What am I gonna do with a pool?
I don't know, man, but you gotta figure something out. Because it's one look at this pool and people are gonna run.
Question, are you a reality star? Visit soldbyskip.com/casting and share your story. Whether you're buying a home or selling a home, we're excited to tell your tale to the world. If you're getting value from this tour, be sure to tap that subscribe button and then ring the little bell. That way you're notified every time we post a new video. Now remember, my team has been helping people from all over the world now buy and sell homes here in Albuquerque, and we look forward to connecting with you too. So just give me a call, shoot me a text. We're happy to be your resource. Wait. Before you leave, I want to share another video you might find informative by clicking up here. And lastly, friends, don't forget to subscribe by clicking this link to stay up to date with future videos. As always, visit soldbyskip.com for a free list of homes priced to sell. Thanks for watching.